मुख्यमंत्री बने, एक बार आरक्षण के बारे में नहीं बोला। प्रेस ने उनसे पूछा, भैया आरक्षण के बारे में क्या सोचते हो? सन्नाटा, जैसे अभी खड़ा हुआ है, सन्नाटा। 2-3 बार पूछा, सन्नाटा। फिर कांग्रेस पार्टी करती है, मनमोहन सिंह जी खड़े होते कहते, भैया करना है, हम देंगे मुसलमान भाइयों को आरक्षण।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi digs out an old statement of Rahul Gandhi on Muslim reservation.
फिर कांग्रेस पार्टी करती है, मनमोहन सिंह जी खड़े होते कहते, भैया करना है, हम देंगे मुसलमान भाइयों को आरक्षण देंगे, शामिल करेंगे इनको।
Prime Minister accuses the Congress of tampering with Baba Saheb Ambedkar's constitution.
जितने भी मुसलमान हैं, हर आने बस मुसलमान होना चाहिए, उसको रातों रात ओबीसी घोषित कर दिया। ये ओबीसी जो बने हुए थे उनमें से लूट चला ली। अब इसी मॉडल को वो पूरे देश में लागू करना चाहते हैं।
Congress president launches a swift counter attack.
इन्होंने जो डेवलप किया इसके बारे में तो वो कुछ नहीं बताते। जो आदमी हमारे साथ दूसरों की जो टीका करता है वो खुद कुछ काम नहीं करता।
Muslim quota war escalates ahead of the 6th and 7th phases of polls. Congress cornered on Muslim reservation. That's our top focus on India First. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi set the cat among pigeons on Muslim reservation, putting out more than a decade-old statement of Congress leader Rahul Gandhi promising reservation for Muslims. He's repeatedly raised the issue, saying that the Congress plans to steal SC, ST, OBC quota and give it to Muslims. The Prime Minister says the plan has been in the works for over a decade. The question is the Congress on the defensive on the Muslim quota issue as party President Mallikarjun Kharge accuses the Prime Minister of politics of polarization? Our political bureau with that top story. Prime Minister Narendra Modi put out over a decade-old video of Congress leader Rahul Gandhi on Muslim reservation to target the Congress for alleged Muslim appeasement politics and altering the soul of the Constitution.
ये कांग्रेस और उनके चट्टे बट्टे ये जेएमएम और आरजेडी साहब ये आदिवासियों का, पिछड़ों का, दलितों का आरक्षण में डाका डालकर आरक्षण में से कुछ हिस्सा छीन करके ये धर्म के आधार पर संविधान बदल करके मुसलमानों को देना चाहती है.
Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge was quick to hit back, accusing the Prime Minister of diversionary tactics.
मुझे समझ में नहीं आता कि मोदी साहब अपने डेवलपमेंट से वोट पूछने के बजाय कांग्रेस को क्यों बार बार गालियां देते, मुझे समझ में नहीं आया. जो आदमी हमारे साथ दूसरों की जो टीका करता है वो खुद कुछ काम नहीं करता, यही उसका मतलब निकलता है.
Muslim reservation politics has become a key election issue, with the BJP accusing the opposition India Alliance of stealing reservation benefits meant for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and the OBC and giving it to Muslims. The Prime Minister in multiple election rallies has said he will not permit the Congress and the opposition to alter Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar's constitution for vote bank politics. The BJP has repeatedly referred to a statement of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh talking about especially Muslims having the first right on India's resources.
We will have to devise innovative plans to ensure that minorities, particularly the Muslim minority, are empowered to share equitably in the fruits of development. They must have the first claim on our resources.
Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee too dived deep into the controversy, accusing the BJP of politics of polarization.
হিন্দু হিন্দুর মতো চলবে, মুসলিম মুসলমানের মতো সম্মান পেয়ে চলবে, তপশিলি তপশিলির মতো চলবে, আদিবাসী আদিবাসীর মতো চলবে। মনে রাখবেন, প্রত্যেকের একটা ইজ্জত আছে, প্রত্যেকের একটা সম্মান আছে। হিন্দুরা যেমন মুসলিমদের ঘৃণা করে না, মুসলিমরাও হিন্দুদের ঘৃণা করে না।
But BJP MP Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi insisted that the Congress had systematically been trying to bring in reservations for Muslims.
You go and check the manifesto of Congress Party in 2009. They have said that we have done these Muslim reservation in the southern states of Kerala, Karnataka and Andhra, and we will try to replicate at the national level.
Congress MP and leader Jairam Ramesh clarified that the Congress was not seeking reservation on religious grounds, but on economic and social backwardness.
हमने बार बार कहा है, हिस्सेदारी न्याय के संदर्भ में कहा है, आरक्षण का पूरा हक अनुसूचित जाति, अनुसूचित जनजाति और पिछड़े वर्गों को मिलना है। इसके लिए जाति जनगणना कराना जरूरी है।
Clearly, ahead of the 6th and the 7th phases of elections, Muslim reservation politics has taken center stage in the battle for India. Bureau Report, India Today. So is there merit in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's repeated attacks on the Congress on Muslim reservation? Or is this an attempt to polarize ahead of the final two phases? Joining me on India First is R.P. Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP. Rashid Kidwai is a political analyst, has been covering the Congress for very long. And Atikur Rahman is a researcher and a scholar on Islamic studies. R.P. Singh, what's the logic of tweeting a video that's over a decade old unless the Congress says it's to divert attention or polarize voters, or the Prime Minister has no achievements to speak of his own, and that is why is abusing the Congress, as Mallikarjun Kharge puts it?
Gaurav, Congress Manifesto, page number 6, para number 2, states that it will alter the Constitution for raising the capping of the reservation. Supreme Court has said no, but they want to raise it. For whom? One. Secondly, page number 8, para number 7 of the manifesto. I'm talking the last manifesto. I'm not talking about 2009 or 2014 manifesto. I'm talking the 2024 manifesto. Congress will ensure that there will be, like every citizen, minorities have freedom of choice of dress, food, language, and personal laws. Minorities for Congress is only Muslims, nothing more than that. They don't ever treat us as minorities, because in their regime, never ever the National Commission for Minorities had a chairman other than a Muslim. I mean, they always had a Muslim as a chairman of the Minority Commission. Now, let me take it further. Just another 1 minute. Page number 24, para number 5. More women and persons belonging to SC, ST good enough, OBC good enough, and minorities will be appointed as judges of the High Court and Supreme Court. So what is all this? And then, how can we forget, Mr. Rahul Gandhi in 2018 has said in Kashmir, it was quoted in one of the newspapers, which has never been denied, yet we are a Muslim party. We are party which will support Muslims. So, and also there have been a lot of other statements on record where they have been claiming themselves Muslim party.
Let me get Rashid Kidwai to respond, because the BJP says Congress wants to, and the Prime Minister said that, Dhaka dalenge, steal SC, ST, OBC quota and give it to Muslims, accusing Rahul Gandhi of appeasement politics. Sir, the decade-old video, according to the BJP, shows that this conspiracy has been in the making for over a decade. Rashid Kidwai.
Thank you, Gaurav. I think there is a, much ado about nothing. You see, the quota for Muslim is a, quota within quota, and it's grounded on, the social and economic backwardness of Muslims. Here, my friend R.P. Singh is making it look as if you see Muslims are doing some grave wrong. You see, the idea of reservations in the Indian Constitution was supposed to be a temporary instrument for 10 years even for SC/STs. There was no provision for backward classes. Then Mandal Commission came and it was implemented. Now in Mandal Commission there are certain castes, economic groups are mentioned who are Muslims and who are getting benefit of reservation in many BJP ruled states. So
certain
Rahul Gandhi,
Muslim castes, as you very rightly pointed out, certain.
Yeah. In Aligarh, Rahul Gandhi was speaking and he used the specific word backward Muslims, and he accused Mulayam Singh Yadav of not doing that, not giving a quota within quota for Muslims. So here,
however, in Karnataka, is it certain Muslims, and I'll come to that point, or have all Muslims been put under OBC in Karnataka? And okay, you want. Let me bring it.
Karnataka.
Okay, RP Singh wants to quickly respond.
Another 1 second. You refer to Karnataka. In Karnataka, there's a special offer for Muslims for 3 lakh subsidy. For if they buy a new auto, they'll get 50% subsidy only for Muslims. Here is the ad of the Karnataka government.
So what is wrong in it? See, the state's a responsibility of the state to eradicate, backwardness, social equality. There are affirmative actions for various sects and communities on grounds of Gaurav on economic and social backwardness. Here, my friend RP Singh is, making it look as if it is some kind of, grave crime has been committed.
Okay.
Can I answer that?
Quickly, before I bring in Atikur Rahman.
Well, no crime, but make it for backward economically weaker section. Why only for Muslims? Just say that anyone who belongs to economically weaker section will get advantage of 50% subsidy if they buy an auto. But why specific for Muslims? That's the reason. And then there are Christian minorities also, there are Sikh minorities also, there will be poor from those minorities also, but never, because for you, it's a vote bank and you are always ensured you appease them for a vote bank politics.
Atikur Rahman.
Not you, Congress party. I'm sorry. Not you, I mean Congress
No, I would
party.
have clarified that point. Rashid Kidwai is a very well-respected analyst who joins us.
My apologies, sir. I said my apologies.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Atikur Rahman, the BJP points out Karnataka as case in point. All Muslims put under OBC category. Is everyone backward? Should there not be a study first? Who is backward? What are the parameters that need to be set? The BJP, and you heard RP Singh right now, there are other BJP leaders who say that all of this is being done only for Muslim appeasement politics, and they draw a pattern that the Congress, whether it's bringing the communal violence bill or a series of other actions that were taken, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's statement that minorities, especially Muslims, particularly Muslims, have first right on India's resources.
So, Gaurav, the Karnataka reservations which they have disbanded has been upheld by the Supreme Court. So, I do not understand how it is not a contempt of court on the part of the BJP or the Prime Minister to bring it again and say that it is based on religious grounds. If it had been on religious grounds, the Supreme Court might have not upheld it. Secondly, this Muslim quota thing is very much deeply connected with the Muslim appeasement. So if the Muslim appeasement has been going on since years together by the Congress party, may I ask my good friend Sardar Sahab that why the Muslim community is so educationally and socially backward still now? The prevalent conditions of the Muslims are more severe than the SC and ST. And may I know how many recommendations of the Thatcher Commission been implemented by the Congress? Zero. Despite the Ranganathan Mishra Commission so equally. So despite no reservations for the Muslims, it was that you are appeased. If we are appeased, Gaurav, why is our abysmal social educational background continues?
Okay. RP Singh, you want to quickly respond? Because when the Prime Minister accuses the Congress of trying to alter the soul of the Constitution, Congress says it's not on the basis of religion, but on the basis of social and economic backwardness. It's not illegal. The BJP is resorting to dog whistle politics in midst of elections, sir.
I'm sorry, I have to read again the page number 8, paragraph number 7. It says Congress will ensure that, like every citizen, minorities have freedom of choice. They have freedom of choice even today. There's food, language, and personal laws. What is personal loss, sir? Both my scholar friends are here. What are personal loss? And why do we have personal loss as sects? No. Why? There are only persons for Muslims, and which means let's understand. It defines as Sharia. So this is clearly mindset of just targeting a vote bank politics. I mean, let me share with you some more data. Do you know the Prime Minister's beneficiary scheme, whether it is Mudra Yojana, whether it is Jan Dhan Yojana, whether it is the scheme, give me a second, whether it's scheme, the Subhagya scheme, whether it's the gas scheme, or whether it's the roof on the head scheme, every scheme, Muslims have benefited almost 30 to 36%. It varies from scheme to scheme, 30 to 36%. Population is 14 to 15%. Have we ever raised question on that? No, but because they have the first right. I mean, if they are poor, they are entitled for it. They are economically weaker, they are entitled for it. Not as a quota.
Okay, Rashid Kidwai, respond to this point, because the BJP also says it's not just Rahul Gandhi. I want to draw your attention to a statement made by then Law Minister of India, Salman Khurshid. This was on the 18th of September 2011 in Hyderabad. He said, and I quote, we may have to make some changes in the law regarding giving reservation to Muslims in government jobs and educational institutions. What we want to give is on the lines of Andhra Pradesh has already done. So we will follow the Andhra Pradesh model very closely. Andhra Pradesh model is to be taken nationwide. That was the plan. Salman Khurshid referred to it in 2011. So the BJP's point is, Congress only wanted to shore up the Muslim vote bank and not every minority.
Gaurav, it proves the point that now the BJP has an ally called TDP, and TDP in this election, assembly election as well as Lok Sabha election, has promised, quota for Muslims in Andhra Pradesh.
Well, half truth.
Why is it half truth? Then you see, an entire thing, just let me complete. And the entire effort of the quota started.
Let me just enlighten you.
Please go ahead.
Please go through please go through the NDA manifesto of the Andhra Pradesh. Does it mention about the Muslim quota? No. Any party can have. When it has come to alliance, we have a manifesto, which is an NDA manifesto.
But I wanted to for the moment stay on that one particular aspect of Muslim appeasement. Atikur Rahman, you want to quickly respond to the point that's being made repeatedly, that all of this is Muslim appeasement politics and not uplifting all minorities.
So we do not have an objection, Gaurav. Gaurav, we as a community, we are asking a question, and Sardar Sahab fails to answer two of my questions. If Muslims are so appeased, why are they so backward? And if they talk of Pasmanda Muslims, on what grounds they will be making such arrangements without any reservations to uplift the Pasmandas? So
clearly, ahead of the last two phases, the Delhi High Court has denied bail to former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia in the alleged liquor scam case. The court was scathing in its observations, denying bail to Manish Sisodia, who has been in custody since February 2023. The court observed Manish Sisodia abused his power and breached public trust in the formulation of the excise policy. He is very influential and may tamper with evidence if granted bail. The court also observed that there was no delay in prosecution in following the trial in this case, and the Deputy Chief Minister, former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister, stands accused of orchestrating a scheme which, instead of including views of common citizens on the policy, benefited certain individuals. I quickly want to cut across to India Today. Srishti Ojha tracking this big story on India Today. Before that, we're also getting a reaction. Let's get that reaction and I'll get Srishti on the broadcast.
दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट ने अभी मनीष सिसोदिया की जमानत रद्द कर दी है और हाई कोर्ट ने जो बोला है वो बहुत गंभीर है। हाई कोर्ट ने ये कहा है कि मनीष सिसोदिया ने जनता के साथ धोखा किया है, सत्ता का दुरुपयोग किया है और प्राइमा फेसी ऐसे सबूत सामने नजर आ रहे हैं कि मनीष सिसोदिया ने मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग भी की है। ये बहुत गंभीर टिप्पणियां और मुझे लगता है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल जो भी झूठ बोल रहे थे उसका पर्दाफाश आज मनीष सिसोदिया की जमानत रद्द करते हुए हाई कोर्ट ने स्वयं कर दिया है। शराब घोटाला का वो पाप जो केजरीवाल और सिसोदिया ने मिलकर किया है, इसकी जांच से, इसकी सजा से केजरीवाल और सिसोदिया बच नहीं पाएंगे।
I want to bring in Srishti Ojha into this conversation. Srishti, scathing observations by court denying bail to Manish Sisodia. What more did court say, and what are Manish Sisodia's options now?
Well, Gaurav, today's order definitely goes on to add itself in a long list of setbacks that we've seen come in the way of not just Manish Sisodia, but also the Aam Aadmi Party. Now, today, the High Court, while has not only refused to grant any bail to Manish Sisodia, but in strongly worded remarks, has also said that Manish Sisodia abused his power and breached public trust in formulation of the Delhi excise policy back then. Not just that, the High Court has also said that corruption in this entire case originated from Manish Sisodia's desire to create the policy, the excise policy, in such a way that it would benefit certain sets of persons and would also lead to creation of kickbacks. Not just that, the court has noted that Manish Sisodia is a senior Aam Aadmi Party leader, was power center of the party back then, and holds a lot of influence in the corridors of the Delhi government right now. So he may influence the witnesses and also tamper with the evidence if he is released on bail as of now. Now we know this was the second round of litigation because he was already denied bail earlier.
Yes.
As of now, the only scope of relief that Manish Sisodia has could be from the Supreme Court, because earlier Aam Aadmi Party leaders Sanjay Singh and also Arvind Kejriwal got some sort of relief from the top court. So it will be interesting to see whether or not Manish Sisodia finally gets some respite from the Liquorgate heat.
Keep
which
tracking that story
seen
in the Supreme Court. I will come back to you for more. For the moment, Srishti, many thanks. That is all I have for you on India First this evening. Many thanks for watching.